Well, hi YouTubers. Now, second trailer dropped today for the new Wonder Woman film coming out next year. And before I begin critiquing this, let me just elaborate on things I said last time to people who left a comment. Now, first of all, I'm going to confess right here, right now, I had no idea it was World War One. I said it was World War Two. It was not. It was World War One. So, Diana is fighting in World War One. Now, the DC Universe did take place. It is mentioned. I did Google this. In during World War One. Okay, so same rules apply. However, I also mentioned something about Etta Candy. Now, Etta drops a comment I don't appreciate. She says to Steve, when she meets Diana, "Oh, Diana is quite polite and says, so what do you do, Etta?" And she is quite dismissively, "I do whatever he tells me to do." And Dan responds back, the most logical thing she can say is, "Oh, sounds like slavery." And she's like, "Oh, I like this girl so much." I hated that from the moment she said it because I just thought, in the contents of the film, it just, A, shows Etta trying to say that Steve is a bad boss, and secondly, how goddamn disrespectful Etta is. It is set in a time where women do not have the vote. They don't have universal suffrage, they don't have equal rights. Wherever things are happening in the world that is forcing women out of the homes into the workplace, sadly, due to obviously an upcoming war. I did Google this as well. Now, same content applies. Women working in the armed forces were paid the same as the men. I actually will put a link to this. I was surprised by this. Okay, being paid the same as the male counterparts, and also the actions of the women during wartime actually managed to push the drive for universal suffrage. It wasn't the suffragettes that got women the vote in the UK. It was the fact that during wartime, those 4 years of where the Great War, where the world went to hell, women stepped up, and at the end of the day, they had no excuse not to give them the vote. So instead of Essa seeing herself as some kind of like trailblazer, some kind of woman managed to stand equally, being, you don't have the vote, but you have this quite important job, if you will, because yes, you're secretary, but end of the day, Steve is the one out in the he's the one flying the planes. He's the one out there. He's the one fighting. So you're quite. I thought that was very disrespectful of your career choices. End of the day, Esther, you weren't forced into this role. You volunteered to, you applied for this job, and also Steve in general, especially at a time where women and men will die during this war, and also people like nurses will, lose their lives on the front lines tending to the injured. So that is the reason I dropped that comment about Etta and her seriously disrespect about Steve and the armed forces in general. So I'm going to say this now, nothing against Lucy Davidson, I believe it is, but I don't like Etta Candy just for that one comment alone. I just thought it was disrespectful. So anyway, I've managed to give my opinion on the content of that comment, and now let's get to the film. Looking forward to this. Here we go. Oh, it's the Louvre, Paris.
I used to want to save the world. This beautiful place. But the closer you get, the more you see the great darkness within.
Wow.
I learned this the hard way a long, long time ago. What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars.
Cute.
Weapons far deadlier than you can ever imagine. The wall can be ours. Whoever you are in more danger than you think.
I cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost. Be careful, Diana.
Who is this woman? She's my, secretary, sir. She's a very good secretary.
It is our sacred duty to defend the world, and it's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
should the occasion arise.
Okay. Right, opinions. Something to add? Nothing to add? Okay, Mr. Turn that off. Opinions. First of all, I like the fact that Diana is defying Hippolyta. Steve gets washed up on the island and is explained that the war to end all wars, which say did not happen. It was a few after, not particularly nice ones, kind of got worse after that, occurred. And I like the fact that Diana defies her mother. Now, compared to Wonder Woman in the media, there's an absolutely fantastic animated film that came out a couple of years ago, where one of the characters, an Amazon, calls Queen Hippolyta out on her bullshit regarding this feminist all-women utopia about their warriors, but they're women too. So I like the fact that how there is cracks. I'm seeing cracks in this feminist no man utopia, because what is the sacrifice of that? Fine, you're surrounded by women, but you can't be a warrior all the time. And I like the fact it's a woman, a princess, also obviously the daughter of Zeus, taking control of her own destiny. That's actually quite very Zeus-like compared to Greek mythology. It's either slight cold at the moment still, so I do apologise for that. So this looks good. I like the fact Diana is doing things according to her own terms. She's working with the world around her as the world around her actually exists. When someone says to Steve, "Oh, who is this woman?" he can't say she is my anything else but a secretary. She has to be with him in a way that is convincing. I like the fact that being a secretary, you are there, but you're not really focused on, in a way, Sadly, it is the, period of the First World War, and women were still kind of building their blocks. So, in a way that she's there, but she's seen but not heard. She can gather information, she can do what she wants. Very much like the Wonder Woman from the TV show. So, with the absolutely fantastic Linda Carter. Yeah, I did like that show. So I'm looking forward to this. It looks stylish. I like the fact that it is very... Oh, I got this kind of cinematography. Very kind of similar at times to Captain America. Because they're both set during wartime. The colour palette is very kind of... Especially during the action scenes. It's very kind of like... It's muted. It's very kind of... Trying to give that kind of gritty realism of the war. Now, a good example of good cinematography for wartime is The Thin Red Line. And I absolutely hate that film. Saving Private Ryan. So I like the fact the cinematography for this film, the colours stand out. And when Diana appears during the battle wearing her Wonder Woman outfit, that is kind of heightened. It's given a bit more colour to it. Now, storyline, I'm trying not to pay too much focus on it. I did like the fact that this is just to show that historically during wars, women did step up to the plate. A lot of women during the First World War dressed up as men to fight. So I like the fact that soldier happy to take a pot shot at a, sorry, beg your pardon, at an Amazon, because hey, during battle sometimes genders are equal. Hey, the Vikings, male and female stood side by side. So I kind of like that mentality, if you will. Even though, hey, shooting a bullet at an Amazon is not cool, but hey, it shows that during battle, everyone is equal. There you go. Gal Gadot does look like Wonder Woman. Now, there's a lot of issues about her character, but in media, apart from the comic books and the cartoons and the show with Linda Carter, she's never been really, really represented. And I like the fact that she looks like an Amazon. She doesn't look like a supermodel. She looks like a strong, athletic woman who's worked very, very hard to get into this role. And the thing is, though, one thing I'm speculating now is Steve is going to die. Now, one thing I did not like, if you pull it up to the thing, is First World War was 100 years ago. Diana, obviously, is long-lived. And so I can't take off the fact that during the First World War, her heart was broken. Steve obviously died. Everyone around her dies because when you're a long-lived Amazon, say that happens. And she basically retreated from the world that actually did need her, which, hey, Captain America was frozen in ice. What's her excuse? I just find that a little bit, yeah, I don't like that aspect of her character. And this kind of goes back to Batman vs Superman when she has this issue about the I must destroy this picture taken of me with my own little band of howling commandos. And best excuse term I can come up with that. And I just sat there thinking, who cares? It's a picture from 100 years ago. No one's going to say, oh my god, that's you, if you just say that it's not. You're not exactly a celebrity. It's like because Nicolas Cage did the rounds a couple of years ago, and a guy whose picture was taken in the 1890s. You look similar, but it's obviously not Nicolas Cage, and as it actually is. I just thought that was a stupid excuse to be in that film to start with. It was just trying to set up the Justice League film, which I'm looking forward to. So this does look good. This looks slick. It looks stylish. I did like the fact it didn't really focus on Themyscira. It focused more on the real world, our world. And I did like the look of this film. It looks good. However, I hope it has some humour. One thing that Captain America, I know, bad example, but superhero films set in World Wars do kind of go for that kind of palette, is it managed to combine good humour, a good solid storyline, and some great action scenes. This needs to have that as well. One thing I didn't like about the Dark Knight saga, Batman Begins onwards, Batman vs Superman, and fun enough Man of Steel, is that they were good films. I thought they were all very good films. However, they didn't have any humour with them. They felt, I know it's a Dark Knight, but I felt a bit too dark. I need, with a good film, you need humour with the darkness, and this needs a balance with the humour. It can't be too serious, or these whole misogyny, men are bad, let's lock ourselves away kind of mentality. So I look forward to seeing what this film can bring, and I look forward to seeing Wonder Woman. And hopefully, and I have not looked this up, Linda Carter needs a cameo. Okay? If she can have a cameo in Sky High, not cameo, she can have a part in Sky High, which she actually Wonder Woman at one scene. If she can be in Season 2, Episode 2 of Supergirl, which actually comes out this week, then she can have a cameo in this film. I think it's deserved. So, thanks for watching, YouTubers, and take care. Sign off now. Bye.